Okay, so welcome to an episode of Shire Health Chats. We are very excited today to be sitting down with James Carrington from Mentoring Men. Now, I met James at the Sutherland Shire Staff Health Day at Sutherland Hospital, and I was really excited. I wanted to sit down and grab him and interview him on the spot, but we had a line of people banked up for skin checks. James had a line of people banked up to talk about mentoring men. So welcome to the show, James.
Oh, thank you, Chris. And it's a pleasure to be on the show and talk about our service, especially in the space of general practice as well.
So, James, if you want to just give us a 1-minute summary of what you guys do, I think it's a fantastic service. I think your website is amazing. But just give us a 1-minute summary of what you do, who you are, and who you're hoping to help.
Yeah, so Mentoring Men. So we're a not-for-profit men's mental health organisation. And we're relatively new. We're about 5 years old. And our aim is to support men going through challenges and changes in their life by linking them up with a fully qualified volunteer mentor. Our purpose is to build a community where we have men supporting men. And a lot of the men that access our service, the challenges and experiences they're going through their life they vary. It's everything from sort of a relationship separation, general mental health concerns, social isolation, drug and alcohol concerns, or just general community connectedness is what they're after. Thanks, Chris.
So I think this is a really valuable service for a couple of reasons. In general practice, we see a lot of men who lost their tribe, so to speak. You know, these blokes who maybe they had a sporting tribe, but they had to give it up for looking after their kids, or maybe they pulled a hammy and they just never got back on the soccer field. And we often see they lose that tribe, and there's a pandemic of loneliness in males over the age of 30. So that's why I really loved what you were spruiking with this idea. And I had a look at your website, and there are some exciting events there. You have a golf day, you have mockers with Mentoring Men, you have Bunnings barbecues, you have cycle days, you have mental health first aid training. There is really something for everyone. Can you tell me about some of the stuff you run? What's your favorites? What's coming up?
Yeah, we try and get out into the community as much as we can. Those mockers with a mentor, they're not just for our mentors of the program. We invite any man to come down and see what the organisation's about and see if they can connect with anyone in our service, whether it be a volunteer or the staff that's there. Other things that we do is we're recently opened up some men's groups across Sydney. For instance, we have Manly Men's Group in combinations with Community Northern Beaches, and we'll starting up a men's. Yeah, it is Manly Men's Group or Men's Group Manly, and we were like, I don't know how much engagement we'll get when we sort of set these men's groups up, and the first one we ran was 17 men came down, and it was just a great engagement. Men just chatting about sort of what's happening in their life, and it's an opportunity to be vulnerable and support each other. So we're really trying to change that sort of the old ways of not talking about what's happening in our life, and actually reaching out to other men that may be going through something else or may have overcome something, and are able to support you or at least listen and open up those conversations. So,
okay. Now, can you come if you don't drink mockers? What if you're a long black man? What if you're a cappuccino? Can you still come?
You can still come. Look, mockers with a mentor, it just rolled off the tongue nicely. If you drink long blacks, if you drink flat whites, I'll still let you come if you drink flat whites. But yeah, you can all come.
Okay. Now, I think one of the things with engaging men, and I've talked to some of the other doctors at the surgery about this, is they like to have something to do. It's much easier to engage someone while they're doing woodworking, or while they're setting up a barbecue, than to just have them sit down and talk about things. So that's one of the things I really like that you guys do. What is coming up on your calendar? Are there any events coming up people should know about? Is there any opportunities coming up for people to engage with your service?
Yeah. So there are. So we're continuing our mocker with a mentor, and that's at sort of various cafes across Sydney. So we've got one in Manly, we've got one in Liverpool. We've got one out in Hornsby. And then we've also got sort of different pockets of events that are happening. We're actually one of the ones we're going down to Murrumbidgee actually, so that's just down sort of near June in the Snowy Valley, where we're having a men's overnight retreat. Filled with different activities and things like that. So yeah, so we're always looking as an organisation for opportunities to sort of get out in the community and hold anything. So if you know of something that might be good in your own community, you can always contact us and we can always take that on board and set something up. But our calendar is constantly going out to community events and promoting our service and how to access it if you're looking for it. Yeah.
So I've got a few people I've got in mind for you guys. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was it's a real shame when we lose young blokes. Like one of the main things that we lose young blokes to, other than motor vehicle accidents, is suicide, unfortunately. And you guys have some both suicide prevention training and some mental health first aid training, I believe.
Yeah. So we offer our mentor training, and that's for it's actually for to anyone that actually wants to get it. So the mentor training is open to all members of the community, both men and women. But if you want to be a mentor of the Mentoring Men program, you do have to be a man. But we also offer, on top of that, mental health first aid training, which has got a good uptake. And that, again, that's for anybody that wants to be involved. And also suicide prevention training as well. And that's for anyone as well. And it is a good skill to have for both our mentors and general members of the community. We are trying to reduce the statistics of there are unfortunately 9 suicides a day, and 7 of those are men. And on top of that, Mentoring Men just became accredited suicide prevention service just last week. So this interview
wow, congratulations.
In timing, yeah, a bit of work put in through our national manager, and we got accredited just last week.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I really like on your website you talk about having a mentor is not a bad thing. Business people who are successful have business coaches. Successful sports people have sports coaches. On the website, you mentioned that Luke Skywalker had Yoda and Harry Potter had Dumbledore. And I think that's a really good way to frame it. There's no shame in having a mentor. In fact, it's actually more likely to lead to success in life, personal endeavors, and sport. In terms of mentors, is there anything people need to have qualification-wise, or can anyone do it as long as they're in that male genre?
Absolutely no qualifications required. A lot of our mentors have lived experience, so they've actually been through some tough times, and they've actually overcome those tough times and want to give back to other men that are going through some experiences themselves. So there are no qualifications. There are some mentors that have a general interest in sort of that mental health space, whether it be psychology, counselling, or social work, or but all you have to have is a good heart and a good set of ears and a bit of time. We encourage our mentors and mentees to meet up once every 2 weeks or once a month, but we leave it up to the mentoring mentee relationship to decide that. As an organisation, we're very sort of casual around sort of the parameters, and we sort of empower both individuals to sort of have that relationship and work towards the goals that they want to go towards. So yeah.
Okay. So James, I'm going to wrap up in a sec, and we'll let you guys get off and continue doing your work. I'm on holidays, but I know you're not, so you do have work to do today. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up this segment? And we'll be chatting a bit to a GP-specific audience after that. But before we wrap up this segment, is there anything else you wanted to mention?
Look, if you're a man and you're going through some tough times and you're looking for some support, don't hesitate to contact Mentoring Men. we would try and set you up with someone within the space of a week. It's not always the case, but it is. We try and the process around it is you book in with one of us and we give you about a 20 to 30-minute chat to find out sort of what's going for you and how we can support you. And then we try and link you up with a mentor that we believe will be a really good, suitable mentor for you. And we ask actually the very similar questions to the mentor, so we know it will be a good fit. And from there, you guys you meet up for coffees and walks and things like that. And it's an opportunity just to open up conversations about what's happening in your life and have someone that will listen and support you and help you with any sort of issues that can be resolved and going from there. So, yeah.